Starting the recording. Hey everyone, this is OotiniCast, episode 475. And it's being recorded on the 11th of October, 2023. This is the raw version of the show, going out with all flubs and errors intact. And then we will take that, we will clean it up a bit and put it out as an audio podcast tomorrow. Also, the raw video version, after we do stream it on Twitch, does go out, and we put it up on YouTube as well. So there's all that. We will get going the actual show here in just a couple of minutes, because we started the stream just before the top of the hour. And yeah, so that's going to be good. A little bit of news this week, not a ton, but you know, some good stuff that we can to sort of chew on a bit. And we've got, yeah. It'll be. I can't believe it's already freaking October.
No.
It's actually like,
ridiculous.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
I was dating stuff at work, and I go, what's the date? Is it like
what is it? September 4th?
Yeah. You know, and then well,
no, it's halfway through October almost.
Because you know, I wrote 10, 10, and I went. I was just writing 7.
Yeah, not just. Sad to say. I'm glad to say that Discord is working, is cooperating this week, so that's good. Yeah. Last episode, we had to switch over to Zoom, actually, with the first time we've ever used a Zoom. Well, actually, that's not quite true. We did use Zoom with our interview, but normally we do Discord for all the OotiniCasts, and that was not possible last time 2 weeks ago. We just could not make it work, but apparently...
Amazingly, it worked.
Apparently whatever bug happened got patched out, or we just got lucky, or were unlucky the other time, but we tried pretty hard to get it to make it work last time. Like, we restarted our Discords, we did a bunch of other, you know, we tried some setting things, nothing was working, so... Anyway...
Did you, post on Twitter that we're live?
Oh, right. Yeah, let me do that. That's another good thing. We've got about a couple minutes anyway before this goes.
What's up, Outa?
Every time
your Grim Reaper.
Every time I see Twitter is now X, it's like, it reminds me of that line from Bender, where he goes, I don't call it blackmail, I call it extortion. The X makes it cool.
I know. So funny. X makes it cool.
All right.
Seems so dumb.
Yeah. And they're being sued over it because there was another social app that had X as sort of a main part of its name.
Well, and it's like, how many people are going to generate like links to porn trying to look it up?
Yeah, that too.
It just seems like no one gives a shit about X anymore. It's not the 90s.
Yeah.
Mikey, what's up?
All right. It is Twittered out, or whatever you want to call it. I guess post. They just call it posting now. It's also, that's lame. Like, they had a whole verb all to themselves, and now it's just post, which is used by everyone. So crazy. But anyway, what are you going to do?
It's retweeted.
Yeah, I'm
sticking with tweet.
I'm still sticking with Mastodon pretty hard as my sort of like, you know, my sort of new Twitch thing. But unfortunately, it's like, it's good, but it hasn't, you know, there's just not quite enough.
No,
it doesn't quite have enough momentum to really sort of replace it, unfortunately. So anyway. All right. Anyway, that we've done enough vamping. I think we are only a few seconds away from the top of the hour. So I think we're okay to go. Let me go ahead and have some water, and we'll start her up.
What's Blue Sky?
Blue Sky sounds interesting. You have to have like an invite to it, though. So I don't think I've gotten one. I think I applied for one, and then I kind of like forgot about it. I'll have to check my email.
Oh, you know what? I think I did too and forgot about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tells you a lot, doesn't it?
We're old.
What are you going to do? All right.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What do you want from me?
All right, going now. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast. Welcome, child of Dathomir. This is episode 475, being recorded on Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. I'm your host, Chill, and with me is my co-host, KittyKissz. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Chill.
And what you been up to since the last show?
Well, I have been playing a new tune.
Nice.
And this tune was one of our locals, our VIPs, Darth 30 Socks, had an idea and of generating a backstory, a class, and a race for a character on I forget what it's called, the AI platform, and have it generated.
ChatGPT or one of those.
I think that's the one. And he did. Sent it over, and so I made a character based on that.
Okay.
And it ended up being really cool because one of the the Marilucan?
Well, the
the blind one.
Marilucan are the blind ones, yeah.
It was a Marilucan, but it was a rare case, and there was a birth defect that my character could see. So I made him human.
Okay, that works.
And so I gave him white eyes, and
so they're a little a little unusual. That makes sense.
Right, and Marilucans they don't grow facial hair, so I didn't have any facial hair on him, and
right.
So started him off, and I wanted to do something a little different with this character, and we started him off, and the story actually made him sound like Obi-Wan Kenobi. So the policy for answering questions and choices and stuff in the game was, what would Obi-Wan do?
Right.
But I'm reading the Obi-Wan Qui-Gon Jinn Master and Padawan, I think it is, Claudia Gray's book. And Obi-Wan is strict by the book kind of character when he was younger, when he was Qui-Gon's Padawan. So we started him off like that. I started him off at body type 1 with the Padawan braid hair.
Nice.
And then we talked about, okay, well, eventually he's going to grow up. When would that be? So in the Jedi Knight story, when he gets abducted by the Emperor.
That's right. It's an unknown amount of time passes.
Right. So we decided, you know what? That's a good time to have it done. So
perfect. Yeah, that's very smart.
Him into body type 2, gave him the Qui-Gon Jinn haircut, and now I've been playing him as a little bit more cocky, like Obi-Wan became when he was with Anakin.
Right.
So
around the time of episode 1 and stuff, or 1 and 2. Yeah.
And eventually he's gonna get a scar. I'm not sure when. Whenever that happens, I was thinking about maybe when he fights the Emperor, because that's kind of a big fight.
It is.
So, and I'll talk to chat and we'll decide when that happens and what scar it is. I don't know if I want to do a random roll, or I was thinking about making a table with a random roll on it or something like that. But, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. Well, and you'll definitely, I don't know if random would work too well, but there's definitely multiples that would work. And then it just depends on how it is. Because some of them, there's a couple of them that seem like sort of like tribal or like purposeful, like, like the ones that are where it's like two like purposeful scarification. Those probably are not going to work. Then there's other ones that are more like cuts, that you would get from a fight. And then there's some that are like burns or potentially lightning burns as well.
Right.
And so it depends on whether you think the Emperor is doing lightning, damage to you or something like that, or some other form of sort of like acid or whatever, dark side scarification or something like that. But yeah, there's definitely multiples that will work. But that'll be fun. That sounds like a great idea.
And it will, if it doesn't feel right, we can always just do something else. So, and it's not like strictly by the numbers or anything like that. But it's been really fun to watch a character grow up, in a sense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We started off with the body type 1, so he was small, and then eventually, he's grown up. So it's really interesting.
And then have him do the Feast of Prosperity and give him body size 4.
That's funny. That would be really funny. That maybe I could do that as a channel point redeem. Like Feast of Prosperity. Now he's body type 4. That would be a great idea. I might do that. But anyway, it's been really, really fun. And I've gotten up to Galactic Seasonings level 41.
Nice.
And I haven't been trying at all.
Yeah.
I haven't,
it's pretty easy.
Been doing anything, and it's been fun. It's been really fun. I've been enjoying the story.
Nice.
I like the kind of mischief that you do on some of the story quests, which is really cool. I like the. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I haven't gotten to 40 quite yet. I'm in like the high 30s on like practically every server, so it's like I'm basically like a week away from everything.
I haven't done it yet either, so I'm excited to get and see what happens. But yeah, it's really cool. There were some people that were bummed that you don't get a companion, but that's okay. I don't mind it at all. I think it's
I think it makes a nice change of pace.
Yeah, and I would rather them have put it out than to have to wait to do all the voice work and stuff like that.
Because, right. Rather than have yet another alienese companion.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm stoked. It's been really fun. I like Galactic Seasonings, and I don't want to get through it. I don't want to end it, because then I get bummed that it's over.
That it's all done. Yeah.
Like, but who knows? I'll probably pop onto Starforge and end up doing it over there too, but whatever. And I was kind of just randomly queuing for PvP on Satil Shan, and I actually got level 1. I was like, no way. Oh, that's crazy.
That's funny.
I actually tinged enough to get level 1, leveling up the character. And I didn't do it every day.
Right.
I just kind of randomly would go, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And lo and behold, I got level 1, which is pretty good.
Nice.
I did around 9 tunes to Conquest last week, because I'm trying to, get some implants for my alts and stuff.
Smart.
How many do you usually do in a week?
Well, the way I do it is on Satil Shan and Starforge, where I have enough high level characters, I log on to 4 characters, and between reputation, which is a huge one, getting a companion's level up and a few others, I can do 4 characters that way. So a minimum, I'm going to do 4, and then it's just a question of what else I'm doing in the game. So usually, I'll get at least 1 because I'm playing somewhere, and and they get like 2 million, conquest points, of course, because I'm spending a lot of time on that character. But and then there's other weeks where I'm spreading it across multiple people and I'm getting multiples. But usually it's like 4 on Satil Shan, 4 on Starforge, and then then it just depends from there.
All right, cool.
Yep.
I was just curious, like, what the average was or anything like that, because I think 8 or 9 for me this time. That was quite a bit. Like, I was intentionally logging in to do it.
To do like dailies and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can if you can spread it out pretty easily and get it easy in one day.
Right.
At least, because you do, like you said, the companion, and then you can make a dark project, and then do a little bit of crafting, and then if you just run 1 chapter, you can get 50K right there.
Right.
So you can easily ting it, but it gets boring and repetitious, running that all the time. But
exactly.
Blah blah blah. Watch the last episode of Ahsoka.
Yeah.
No spoilers or anything like that.
Right.
But I am so stoked to see what happens next, and I am so sad that Ray Stevens died. And
it's just he did a good job with his character, for sure.
He did a great job. Every time he was on the screen, I was just looking at him.
Right.
And it's such a loss.
Yeah.
Because
definitely a lot of charisma there.
Or on the stream or not, but it just would have been so great for him to see how well people liked Balin.
It was super well received by the community. So that was very sad.
Rest in peace, Ray.
Yeah, they definitely they did leave a lot of things open, like you said, you wanted more because there's a lot of they didn't exactly do it as a wrap up sort of thing. They were like, and here's four more things that we want to talk about.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if are they going to recast him? I don't know. I don't think I mind. I don't know. It's just sad. And I haven't had that kind of sympathy for someone I don't know in a long time.
Right.
Where it's just like, oh, what a loss.
Yeah.
But
there's also the costume designer for Ahsoka and also some of the other later Mandalorian episodes and Book of Boba Fett. The one of the costume designers, and she was like in her 40s or something like that, and she passed on too since the last show, which is also very sad. So, and because obviously, the costuming in the Disney series have all been excellent, and she has been a huge part of that. So,
yeah, I mean, since we're talking about Ahsoka, I thought that the costumes were great, and Balin again, his costume was perfect for that character. It just, I don't know. I sound like I got a thing for him, Balin, but which is fine. But it's so sad.
Right.
But I didn't know about the costume designer, and that's another. Anyway, enough grief. There's a good news coming up, and this is something that I'm looking very forward to.
Okay.
And Jill, you could participate in this too.
Okay.
Is that Saturday morning at 9:13, an eclipse is going to start, a solar eclipse.
Nice. Is the weather supposed to be good over? Yeah, what is the weather supposed to be like around here?
I don't know yet, but I don't give a shit.
You're going to at least give it a try?
I love this kind of stuff because it feels like I don't know, it just feels real.
Right. It's hard to tell whether we'll be able to see it or not. The weather says cloudy, but it doesn't say rainy and it doesn't say sunny. So it kind of like, who knows?
Well, we should notice something.
Yeah.
Even if just for a little bit, but
definitely.
Anyway.
Cross fingers that's a little nicer than they think.
Yeah. And as a native Oregonian, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Well, a few years ago when they had that full eclipse, solar eclipse, and that happened to be like during one of my work days, and I actually went outside and people checked things out, and it was really fun. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Cool. Yeah. I made the little box and looked at the shadow.
Yeah.
I was amazed how cold it got. And the and shadows changed.
Take the weird picture. Yeah, I took a picture of the weird shadow of the leaves on the trees, and they're all sort of they also look like crescents.
Yeah,
because the source of the light had changed. That was very bizarre.
Really cool. And what have you been up to, Jill? Passing the ball.
All right, let's see. Well, first, who's got a bunch of folks here? See, Oriana's here. 01 Ella. 7 Bullet, Elise Dre, Drapsnat, Immortalized Love, J70, Joseph, some of these are hard to pronounce, Joseph 1Z, 6G, J6GG, Kitty Treats is here, Lofa, Mikey Likes _LT, Old Taz, Out of Control, Squishy Twitchy, Starlust, and VMYK are all here. Hey, everyone. And so,
good job, Joe.
Yeah, I've been fighting a bug. There's some sort of flu or cold. We've tested for COVID. I didn't have to, but the other, my wife and my stepson both did, and they had a lot worse than I did. It's been going through the house, and they had a lot worse than I have, but I've been kind of fighting it for like 2-3 days now, so it's a lot of fun. But other than that, things have been going well. I've been mostly working on my Juggernaut Gamora, getting her up as a sort of I want her to be my endgame PvP character on Starforge. She's already up to 65. She's on Rishi. And I did a lot of PvP in the Lobi period, in like the 30s and 40s. And I haven't done anything on Hybe yet, but I will probably soon. Really liking how it feels. It's the same spec I was using on Macho Man on the main server, so it feels very natural anyway, but also like I'm just coming to appreciate it more and more. Yes, it's sort of short range, but that's really one of the very few things that I don't like about it. I like I like how it is a dot spec, but it also has decent burst damage. You know, a lot of good stuff there, and the damage feels really good too. Nearly got to the end of the PvP season track in the last season, but I did miss by 2 levels. I got up to 23. Yeah, there was the last week I did finish all 4 missions. The week before, if I had done it then, I would have gotten to the end of the season. But that week I was just having such a hard time with PvP for some reason. Like, it wasn't popping very often, even though this was on Starforge, and just like I was always in losing teams. I don't know if there was like some other people who were just like grouping up. It didn't look like it. Like, it wasn't obvious. There wasn't obviously like, oh, you know, a bunch of people with the same guild name or anything. But of course, you know, people don't have to be in a guild to queue up together necessarily. But whatever, I just had such a hard time that I just was not able to finish up the weeklies that week, and
I feel like
just
I
sort of
left you
gave it up
hanging.
after a while. It's all right.
I'm sorry, bud.
I'm really not that bummed by it. It's like it was nice to get in the habit, and I think from now on it'll be very easy. I'll just make sure I get, you know, the dailies done at least a few times during the week, and we'll be all set. At least as long as you get a few of the weeklies done, that's all I'll need. So it's all good.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. So that was cool. Let's see. I did today actually. So what I did is, because I was not feeling great, I didn't want to do PvP today on Gamora. So what I did is I worked on some of the Galactic Season stuff, and I got to where on every one I got to the next Ultimate Pack. So I opened up the Ultimate Packs on all the servers. That was fun. So I actually got some good things this time. Last time it was like a little on the side. Like I got one... what do you call it? A flare. I got a flare that was kind of cool. That was last time. And that was like the only thing that was even worth mentioning. This time I got several cool things. So I got a Volto Conqueror's Saber Staff. So a gold Saber Staff. Satil Shan's outfit, which is really valuable. And I've already unlocked it. So it's going to become like hundreds of millions of credits probably. I hope. And an Incinerator weapon tuning. Yeah, really nice.
Do you have that one already?
I already had it. But again... nice to see, because it's another one that, it's actually one of the really, really good weapon tunings that like people really want. So that should be really valuable too. So those will be sold. But I also got a couple of other cool things. I got this really funky that I hadn't really experienced it before. It's a smoky amber crystal. So it's like yellow in the middle, kind of black on the outside, and it sort of has this weird sort of grayish black sort of effect to it. Very unusual looking. Makes your lightsaber look like nothing else that I've seen in the game. It's very unusual. So I just unlocked it so I can have it on other characters if I want it. I also got an emote I didn't have, which was nice. It was one of the dances, but has a weird alienese name, and I can't remember what it's called. Talian or something like that. It actually, when I did it, it looks like Pee-wee Adventure. Pee-wee.
Oh yeah,
when he does the tequila dance. Yeah, it's that dance basically, where with the hands in front, hands in back, hands in front, hands in back. That's right. Yeah, and it actually has some other moves too, but that's sort of like the main one, and it starts there. So it's really obvious that's what they're going for. Yeah, sort of the Pee-wee Herman thing. But it was so that one was fun. I actually unlocked it on the whichever server that was, and so I can unlock it account wide at some point. I'll probably do it during the sale, but you know, if I decide to, I can just unlock it whenever. So yeah, it's been good. Looking forward to, like, I'll have this big run from 65 to 80, so I'll have some high B PvP in the next, you know, week to 2 weeks, something like that. Then she'll ding 80. I've got most of her gear set. Implants are going to be, you know, the usual pain in the butt, and actually I burned my tech points down not too long ago, so I don't exactly have a ton of them to get those for her. So
conquest, baby.
Yeah, that's all right. Exactly. I'm gonna have to be pretty assiduous there, but it'll all be good. It'll work out. We'll get her. We'll get her up there as fast as we can. So
part of the fun is the chase. I've come to realize. Like, you know what? It's fun not having it and wanting it.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see. So we'll go to the tip of the week, I guess. Let me sort of update one tip of the week that I've done for a long time, and I've mentioned it multiple times just because I find it sort of hilariously useful. So I keep a gift on my bar, and then whenever I quick travel, as soon as the quick travel's done, I just hit that button, and even though you're quick traveling, you can actually cast something. So you can cast, a gift giving. You can also like heal up if you want to do heal. You can heal up and stuff like that. But I also found that you can only do the one gift, and then it's and then because it's black screen, you can't. You're kind of locked out. But the weird thing is, you're not really locked out. You're locked out of your keyboard. But if you hover over the button, you can keep clicking it, and you can actually get like 3 gifts off before your character becomes available again. Yeah, it's really hilarious. So it's like, yeah. So I just quick travel, and when it's about done, I'm hovering it, and as soon as it's done, I start clicking the gift, and then get like 3 off before I'd be moving again anyway. So it's all good. Nice. Anyway, we did have it's actually more of a letter almost than just a tip of the week. But so this is from Cor Darg. And Cor writes, Dear Chillin' Kitty, been a player of the game since launch. I've been listening to OotiniCast since episode 138, where you, Tio, and the other guy just kept going on and on how you're looking forward to being interior decorators. So, in other words, when the decorations were coming up in the game. 138, that could be Hypnotoad, that could be Redna. I'm not sure which one he's referring to. I also sent you an email about something at one point during this time. I have a question now, though. There's a datacron on Osis that you have to go around tapping on things in a certain order. I screwed this order up, and I do not know how to reset it. I looked online, but I found nothing. I'm not a subscriber, but since the incredibly advantageous and wonderful purchase by Broadsword, I thought they would maybe fix this somehow. So yeah, the Osis one is it's that tricky one where you have that instance, you run in, and then you have to click on things, and you have to run out before you die. Like it gives you, it's kind of like it's like when Indiana Jones is being chased by the stone ball. Basically, it's basically the same thing. Like you're being chased by this like wall of death, and you have to make out of the instance before you, or at least to the safe part of the instance at the very end of it before you get killed. I'm pretty sure that's the one he's referring to. So if it's bugged out on you, I would try resetting the instance so you can reset local phases. I would also try like waiting until next week, because usually things like this kind of like they tend to get reset at the end of weeks. If none of those are working, then, and let's assume you don't have any alts, because all other ones, you should be able to do it on one character, and it will just count for everyone. So it becomes legacy wide. So you just need to get it done on one. So let's say you don't have any other alts that you can just do it on, because any other alts you do have should be able to do it with, from whatever. If you don't have the option of doing any alts, then I would, assuming you're in a guild, have a guildie do it, because if you go into their instance, then again, it should be set to them and not to you. So hopefully one of those will help. Do you have any other options?
I don't know if that's the one he's talking about.
Okay, which one do you think it is? Because is it the other one?
I think it's the one that you have to go around to different parts of Osis and touch different stones.
Oh, okay.
And you have to touch the stones in a specific order.
Okay.
In order to...
so it's not the instance one. Okay.
I don't think it is the instance one.
There must be a way to fix that, though.
Yeah, I remember
because they wouldn't just
that.
Because otherwise, people would like accidentally click something. Oh, here's something in the world, and click on it, and then realize like a month later, and now I can never do the datacron because I clicked this thing when I didn't know what it was a month ago. Because
afterwards, you have to go up into this area, and then you have other stones.
That one.
In a certain order.
Okay.
But
it's like near the beach, like near. Yeah. It's like in the sort of far northeastern area.
Yeah, I think it's by
I
the
say
big
beach, but it's like,
robot.
That
you used to have to kill.
Right, the little champion that you'd have to kill.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember somebody clicked it different. Somebody clicked it when they weren't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have to start all over again.
That's right. Yes, I've heard. I remember when I read the thing. It's like, don't do this out of order, or you have to start all over. So I think that's the idea. Is just, I guess in that case, go back to the guide that you're using. Presuming you're using a guide, because otherwise, how the hell are you figuring this stuff out?
No.
How anyone figures any of these out, I don't know.
I have no idea.
But yeah, you just have to kind of start over again, essentially. Yeah.
And what sucks is that you can't tell. until you go to the end.
It's a little tricky,
try
yeah.
to redeem it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
From the beginning.
When I did it, and then it's like, oh, man, I hope all these counted, right? And then you click on it. It's like,
me too.
Yeah.
It's like, in fact, I think that I did it wrong the first time.
I think I did too.
Then,
I think I messed one up, and then like I had to go back and redo a few of them.
Back and redo it. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Because we
so
were
if it's
doing
that
it
one,
in a
definitely
group.
do it. Yeah.
We were doing it in a group, and you couldn't tell if you touched it because other people were
touching it and
hitting
stuff.
The node. It was like very confusing, but it's not you.
It's not you.
It's not you.
It's just very tricky.
It's not you. It's just it's weird. But yeah, I would try starting over.
All right. Okay. So his letter continues. I've been invigorated by the change in ownership and started to care more about the fine details of the game again. I love how they turn back on all the old quests in the game that the former owners turned off. I'm not sure what he's referring to exactly there, actually.
I think it's the world quests and stuff, maybe. I don't think that they turned it off. I think that they just...
Did they fix some that were bugged or something?
What happens is I think that once you wouldn't be able to return and do them weekly, and now you can.
Oh, that
like weekly,
right? The planetary, the post-story and planetary arc things. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's true. Because those were essentially turned off because once you did them, you would never be able to see them again. So on that character,
that kind of stuff.
I also learned why they took him out in the first place. That Balamara is quite the all-day sucker. As for the tip of the week, people need to understand and have a better idea of how their companions work. So first off, Shay Vizsla is far and away the best companion. And it's not just her damage, she also obeys the best. Seriously, it's like they make Bodar cognitively challenged. So
it's true. Bodor's difficult.
Is it? It's not just because he's melee? Because, I mean, all melee companions are like, if they don't have their jump, they kind of have to wait around to, try to get to the next one. But no, Bodar, he's extra
even
extra
if he's
dim-witted.
on heels, he's attacking.
Okay.
And he's always running around because he's melee.
Yeah, it's often good to have a ranged companion, especially Shay, like Shay, who is dual wield. There's a few others in the game. I haven't noticed if her AI is better, but I know I do use her a fair bit, just in general, just because she's dual wield, and it's nice to have I prefer. There are times when I prefer a melee companion, especially when they're like tanking, and I'm ranged, because I wanted to keep us apart so we're not taking AoE damage together or AoE CC together. But most of the time, like just as a default, I prefer a ranged companion who can therefore, as soon as someone dies, they can start doing damage to the next person. Even if their regular abilities are off, they'll still at least be able to shoot right away without having to wander over to the next target.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't jump in.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's a couple of because I've been doing this Galactic Season stuff, I've had some weird, cartel companions out, like some of the random droids and stuff, and like some of them it's like I cannot get them to like jump into combat in tank stance. It's like they keep going forward or just shooting from a distance. It's like, use your jump.
Yeah. They'll AoE and then everything runs towards them.
Yeah.
It's like
come on. That's useless.
Yeah.
All right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. He also says you very often need to have your companion attack first to make sure they start attacking at all. Yeah. Also, you need to remember that your companions are NPCs too, are therefore loaded with hit points. If you're having trouble with a particularly difficult foe, have Shay attack and sit back for a little while before you take the focus off of her. Mm-hmm. That's actually not a bad idea in general. If you're going to keep your your companion on damage, you send them in first, and you can usually do enough damage to overtake them in threat. But
especially like when a playing Guardian or Sentinel or anything like that, where your leap in will interrupt the cast. I usually wait for, send my tank in there, your NPC tank, and then once they cast, jump in,
right?
And then you get a
free interrupt. Nice. Yeah. Let's see. Likewise, it's important to note that you can direct attacks at forces way beyond your normal range, generally in line of sight. And you can also give them multiple orders, and it'll go in the order of the last group or object selected. Yeah, it's true. They won't really queue up the multiple orders, but they'll just go after whoever you tell them to, basically. But you can change them. I do have them change sometimes, depending on the situation. You can have your companion attack a group of mobs, pick up a resource, then attack another group of NPCs. I never have that work. I mean, I think technically that can work, but it almost never works for me. And I know Chill's talked about wanting a Beastmaster class, and a Jack Up Shay is there already for the same experience. It's also humbling to know that your tag-along is more powerful than you. And he says, enough chit-chat. Give me a jetpack. Gimme. So, Core likes the jetpack. So, all right. Thank you, Core.
Thank you, Core.
Yeah. Let's see. I would say when it comes to companions, typically because most of them they kind of all seem to have around the same length of like drawing their weapon animation. A couple of them seem a little faster, which is always nice. But there's always that little bit of delay. So there's a lot of companions where I will actually use the attack button to sort of start things off so that my character is just not getting insta-focused. Especially when there's enemies that tend to like stun the first thing they aggro on. Yeah. That gets really old really fast. So like once I realize, okay, every silver I see is going to stun me the instant the combat starts. Well, I'm going to send companion in first, and they're going to stun them instead.
Get in there. I do the same thing.
Get in there and take that stun.
Get in there and you get stunned. I know. I can see where specific places are on Nar Shaddaa that have a long stun. It's way too long. Right. So you got to get the companions in there and get them zapped.
Yeah. So that was quite a nice letter, Core. So anyway, so if you have a tip of the week, send it to OotiniCast@gmail.com before the next show for a chance to win a Tomfon, M83R droid pet code, or M2B9 droid code, courtesy of Bioware, and also a 450cc code. That'll bring us to the Mind Trap. And let's see. So this was a kind of a fun one to do. I actually had sort of the very basic idea for it. And then Kitty made it really interesting. So I was just thinking, I was thinking when they started talking about the fact that there's going to be, a dev stream for 7.44, that 7.44 is coming up. So we know there's more story coming up in the reasonably near future. We don't know the exact day, of course, but I remember thinking when 7.3 came out, we were doing all the Voss stuff, and we had another conversation with Malgus and blah, blah, blah. I was thinking that Malgus would have escaped by now. It feels like we've had a couple conversations with him. He's been there for a while. I'm like, how is he still there? How's this story going to work if he's going to stay there the whole time? So I thought, well, I think he's probably going to escape. So I wonder how many other people are going to escape. So I just was going to ask, do you think Malgus will escape in 7.4? And then Kitty had the idea of making it a little more interesting by asking how he might escape. So, and you came up with all the different yes options. So that was awesome. So yes, by his own actions, by Malgus's own actions. Yes, due to my character. In other words, something your character does, either to release him on purpose or accidentally, but some sort of action that your character does. Or yes, due to Shay or the other Mandos, which is sort of two different things. That could happen in wildly different ways, but still, there's been a lot of Mando, story recently, so it makes sense that they could definitely get pulled right back into this. So,
and especially Shay, she was there when you were interrogating him,
right? And
that's kind of what made me go
getting very and getting upset about it and stuff like that. Right? She kind of storms off and. Yeah, they know makes sense to me. So I will go over the numbers here in just a second. I ended up answering yes by his own actions, and to me that's sort of an interesting choice, just because I think yes due to my character is one of the best choices they could make as a story, because it makes sure that your character feels like they're part of the story.
Right.
You know what I mean? We've got the big bad and our character's actually part of the reason, even if it's accidental, like part of the reason that he escapes. So I understand like why that's probably the best choice, but I still think it's an interesting choice, like that if he somehow gets out by his own actions, because we know he's been doing a lot of stuff, and other people have been doing stuff on his behalf, sort of behind the scenes, and we haven't really learned much about it. So it's quite possible that that's an option too. So that's the one I chose. Which one did you choose, Kitty?
I said yes due to my character.
Okay.
I think that I don't know if he's going to or not, but it's time that he goes.
Yeah.
He's been around a long time. He came back from the dead, and I could see one more team up and then a decision where this is all conjecture, that you team up with him and either you kill him or you let him go. And of course you're gonna end up wanting to kill him because he's the big bad. But you know what I mean?
Right.
Or he betrays you or something. But it just feels like it's time for him to go. Maybe or Shay, or something's gonna happen.
Right.
But I think it's gonna be like, okay, we need your help for this. So
All right.
That's just a guess.
Yeah. Well, you're in good company. However, like all the yeses were reasonably close. So so yes and no, if you just break it out that way, no, he won't was only 9%. So only 9% say, nope, he's going to be there for all of 7.4 and he won't escape until later, or if at all, who knows. But in any case, so 9% think he won't escape in 7.4. That means 91% do. Yes, due to my character, actually won with exactly a third of the vote, 33.3% of the vote. Well, I say exactly, it probably isn't, but whatever. Actually, no, it probably is. There was 201 votes, and that's divisible by 3. So a third of the vote went to yes due to my character, a little bit less yes by his own actions, the one that I chose, 31.8%. And a little bit behind that, but not that much, was yes due to Shay Mando's, was 25.9%, basically 26%, which is only like 5% less than by his own actions. It's really... So that made it a very interesting one. So yeah, thank you everyone for voting and for retweeting and all that good stuff. I did the information from the Mastodon version was pretty much the same. We only got a few votes, unfortunately. We still need to get some momentum over there, but we'll figure it out. And some of the people were saying, I can honestly see all of this happening. Exactly. That's why I made it a good question. I can see them making Malgus as strong as Vader in order to have him break out. I can see the player character needing to work with him, or I could see Shay losing her mind and freeing him just to one-up Hedda Cole.
Yeah.
Let's see. Emperor Katarn said, I think it'll be Syl and Satil who break him out for both factions. They'll need his help to fix whatever mess Hedda Cole creates. Interesting. Empress Valen said, yes, due to my character. I feel like Hedda Cole and the Padawan will try to use whatever the super weapon is, and it'll go horribly wrong, and then we'll set Malgus free in order to deal with it. Interesting. It's true. We don't know exactly what that whole situation is, so...
Yeah.
Darth Shezik said, at this point I feel it'll be either a character or someone affiliated with Hedda Cole. And Drew said, we'll have to uncage the beast to deal with Hedda because she's messing with power beyond her depth and understanding.
I love the responses that people were giving. It's really cool that it's nice to see other people invested in the story as much as I am,
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay.
Yep,
right.
It should be a lot of fun. And so... we got some pretty good response out of that one, which is always nice. So that'll bring us to the Holo feed, and the events for October came out after the last episode, no problem. The Swoop Rally event has just finished. It finished on the 10th of October, so that one was part of the events for October, but it's now done. Feast of Prosperity started basically today. It says October 10th, but basically started today. Goes through November 7th. It's live right now. I wasn't just joking about the body size 4.
I saw some of the stuff on Fleet and I went, that can't be happening right now. Something else must be going on. That's really funny.
Well, they're doing it. It's like Canadian Thanksgiving, I guess. It's like starting a little early this year, but that's okay. You need to be level 20 or higher. A lot of it takes place on Nar Shaddaa. Not all of it, though. There's a lot of things that happen around the galaxy for sure, but you can do most of it if you're around level 20 and if you can get to Nar Shaddaa. I'm not seeing a lot of new things. So like I don't think they updated it very much, if at all, this year, as far as I can tell. But it was updated, I think the last time it came around, they added some extra stuff. So there's still a lot of stuff. There's decorations, there's pets, there's mounts, there's emotes, actually. The Feel the Groove and the Toast emotes are both really, really good. So they're really good ones to get on especially on like a main character. There's some food launcher toys, overstuffed backpack toys, stuff like that.
Yeah, I went and got one of the, the Earthen Thrub mini pet. It's adorable. I think
it really
it's
is
the cutest pet in the game.
You like the Earthen Thrub?
Kind of a bat nose. It's so cute. He's got big eyes.
I like I like the hairless Mudhorn, actually. It kind of reminds me of the one that Zorg has in Fifth Element, the little elephant.
I don't remember that.
The one that when he's choking on the cherry and there's a little critter on his desk that can't help him because it's just a helpless little elephant-looking critter. I know a Mudhorn doesn't exactly look like him, but I don't know. It sort of reminds him of him. Something around the eyes and thing. I think it is. Anyway, I think it's really cute.
They're not too expensive either. Soturista posted something on Twitter about that they existed. I didn't even know they existed, so went over there and had to pick one up.
And I did get, I noticed I was getting like Feast of Prosperity drops for whatever those purples are that you can get.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I thought that they were from the Galactic Seasonings.
Yeah, which we're hardly getting any of those.
I'm an idiot. Oh boy. I'm suffering from craniumus insurrectimus.
So yeah, that will be going on until let's see, what was that again? November 7th. So we've got call it a month. Just under a month. Basically, it's got to be 4 weeks then, I guess. The Rakghoul Resurgence on Tatooine is coming back on October 17th. So in a week, it will start, and that's October 17th to 24th, the Tatooine one again. And and usually on that Friday, we will the guild will usually go and do a bunch of the Rakghoul related stuff. So that's always fun. All right. They did list out all the Galactic Season objectives, October 3rd through November 6th. We've sort of decided as a show not to go over these too much in detail because it's a lot of detail and not a lot of super interest, though. A nice picture of the two Armasaur mounts. There's the Hardy Armasaur mount and the Tenacious Armasaur mount in all of that. I love
those little guys.
They really look
little
cool.
Guys, the big guys.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
Very cool, yeah. I could see doing some sort of one of those in the 70s and 80s, they had a lot of sort of caveman comic books where it's cavemen riding dinosaurs with fur clothes and spears and you have that sort of thing.
They had lots of movies, Beastmaster and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And going all the way back to the one that had Ringo Starr in it and stuff.
Caveman,
yeah, Caveman, all that stuff. So it feels like you could definitely do a character sort of themed along those lines with these things.
It's true. You're totally right. It's like something that would be painted on the side of a van.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely. So so good stuff. If you want to know what they are, it'll give you a heads up ahead of time. Although there was one post of, apparently there's some discrepancy as to what they said was going to happen versus what actually did. So yeah. Let's see. Since the last show, 7.3.1b came out. It was basically there was two main things. One is to improve new player experience. All players now can sprint at level 1, so it doesn't matter if you're free to play or whatever. You can now sprint at level 1. Big help, I'm sure, for new people new to the game. Holy cow!
I would always see poor level 1s just
chugging along,
chugging along on Tython, and you're like, oh, you poor bastard.
Yeah. But and they also did several fixes to the new Kenorko B5C mount from the Justice or whatever, Fight for Justice pack or whatever it's called. The one you can still get I believe. It's the one that you don't have to have speeder piloting. You can actually mount up no matter what. They made it so that speeder piloting is now working as intended with the mount. In other words, matching the speed and stuff. Improved mounting will allow mounting it while you're on the move, which is as intended. And also companions will appear when you dismount. So, yeah. So they it's funny how it's like things, they make new things and they're hard. Games are complicated. So that was pretty much all that patch was.
That mount in particular would be really cool if you could have your companion on the back of it, because it has that seat post that comes up.
Yeah.
It could be all like totally easy rider style.
That's right. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks, and then Jackie had the little thing about how one of the week season 5 objectives wasn't matching up, and apparently they commuted were objectives for beginning of next week on onward, and then she had to update the article to reflect the intended objectives. So what was showing on the live servers were indeed the objectives players should work to complete. So it was, in other words, she wanted to just confirm that people weren't going to have objectives pulled away from them or anything. All right, and sort of like the main, I'd say this is the biggest news from the last 2 weeks, and it actually came out today.
Thank you, Broadsword, for dropping this before
for the show.
Yeah, appreciate it a lot.
It's a little two-parter. There's not that much to it, but it gives us a lot to look forward to. So it's an introduction from Rob Denton, who is the president of Broadsword, and also an announcement of the 7.4 live stream. Now, we knew that they were going to do one, but we were waiting for when it was going to be, and so now we know. So let's go over this. First of all, the introduction from Rob Denton. I'll just go ahead and read this straight. Hi everyone, Rob Denton here, president of Broadsword Online Games. Now that some time has passed, I want to take this moment to introduce myself and share some details on Star Wars: The Old Republic and Broadsword. First of all, I'm thrilled that the SWTOR team has joined Broadsword. During my time at BioWare, I worked on the game and closely with the team for several years and helped support the 2011 launch, so it's very near to my heart. Keith Koenig, as executive producer, sets the vision for the game, and he'll continue to maintain the relationship with Lucasfilm Games and Electronic Arts. Keith and I will work closely together to ensure that SWTOR continues to grow, thrive, and be the amazing game you all love. Yay. I'll let Keith say more about Game Update 7.4, but I see a very bright future for SWTOR, and our plans are already starting to take shape for new and exciting things. I've always been fond of SWTOR, and I look forward to seeing what this amazing team will create and will continue to build upon in the years to come. Rob. So, good time to pause here and say that sounds really cool. It's really nice that actually, it's completely coincidental, I'm sure, that Rob Denton, was one of the original SWTOR devs once upon a time back in 2011, but it's pretty cool. And we know that, there's definitely a lot of love there, and
full circle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing because it sounds like he was, kind of a regular type dev at some point, and now he's president of Broadsword Online Games, which is very cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Very, very cool. And other than that, it sounds kind of like what you'd expect from, the president of a company who is taking over a game and wants to, express that he's happy about it and that he's excited about it, which is great. It's, it's kind of what you'd expect, but it sounds good. And it's really neat to actually know that, Rob was an original SWTOR dev and stuff. And yeah, this is what you want to hear, basically.
Yeah, especially the in years to come.
Exactly.
It's a great thing to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that they work on long-term games, and that's sort of their focus, and it's good to have it confirmed, though. Let's see. So Keith then wrote, "Hey, folks, I couldn't be more pleased working with Rob and the team at Broadsword and building out future plans for SWTOR and our players. I want to take the opportunity to check in with all of you and give you an update on where we are with Game Update 7.4. The last couple of months has been incredibly busy, with us launching 7.3 Old Wounds and 7.31 alongside technology improvements, including our migration to cloud game servers. Our team has been hard at work getting Game Update 7.4 out the door, and I cannot wait for players to experience the content in it. I'm pleased to announce we'll be hosting a live stream going over the finer details of the update on October 18th at 1:30 p.m. Central Time which is 6:30 p.m. UTC over on our streaming channel. And I did check the link that they did. It's the usual twitch.tv/SWOTOR. So that has not changed. They're still at twitch.tv/SWOTOR. During the stream, players will be hearing from a variety of choices, including a variety of voices, including myself, and we'll be getting a sneak peek into everything coming in 7.4. Cool. Very excited for the team to show off what they've been working on, and looking forward to seeing all of you very soon. May the Force be with you, Keith Koenig. All right. So October 18th, so that's a week from today. And it is early afternoon if you're, it's 1:30 p.m. Central. So that's, early afternoon U.S. Central Time. It'll be 11:30 for us on the West Coast, 6:30 p.m. UTC. So that's more European. And yeah, very excited. So we're going to be here from a variety of voices, including myself. So we will hear from Keith himself, and then of course, we can pretty much guarantee Jackie will be involved. Why wouldn't she be? And then I would be surprised if we didn't hear from Eric Musco. I mean, it could happen, but maybe they're getting other people involved this time, but I wouldn't be surprised if we heard from Eric. And then, we'll see what other voices there are. So it'd be fun to see if like some of the writers or maybe some of the other designers or developers get to tell us something about how the game is designed.
I like seeing developers that we haven't met before come on and say hi and kind of tell us a little bit about what they do. It's a little peek behind the curtain that I think is really cool.
Exactly. And they were always very cagey at BioWare Electronic Arts, and I'm sure to some degree that they have to be at Broadsword as well, but who knows, maybe they'll be a little, it'll be a little bit more open to saying, like what different people do and who is where sort of thing. We'll see. But yeah, I would love to hear from more of the developers of different from different angles and stuff like that. So yeah, looking forward to that. And obviously that's basically in between our two shows. So we'll have that, and that'll give us a week to sort of digest, and we'll give a whole write-up on it. Yeah, we'll do the whole write-up. And it's actually kind of nice though, because like if it happened to be on the OotiniCast day, that can work too. But a lot of times what'll happen is they'll announce something, and then they'll realize, people are making the wrong assumptions, or we gave out slightly different information than intended, or whatever. Or whatever. There's some sort of thing that needs to be updated, corrected, or whatever. That does happen reasonable amount of the time. So now, since it'll be a week ahead, we'll definitely get all the updates and sort of things from that too. So I'm looking forward to that.
To disseminate it too, and
exactly.
Take it all in.
So yeah, 7.4. Hopefully they'll have at least some indication of when it'll be coming out. They usually won't give us the exact day on the dev stream. They haven't in the past. They usually don't, but they usually do give us some sort of indication. Like they'll usually say the last half of the last half of the next month or whatever. So who knows? We don't know. Sometimes these come pretty fast too. Like sometimes they've done dev streams and it's like, oh, it's out. It's like it's out. It's like it's like 1 or 2 weeks later and then it's out. So who knows? We have the 7.4 could be sometime in October. That would be really nice. That'd be very fast, but it'd be very nice. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Anything else, Kitty?
That's it for me. I do have Stitcher isn't a thing anymore.
What's not a thing anymore?
Stitcher, on the notes it says include our iTunes, Stitcher, and the rest.
Oh,
Stitcher's gone.
We'll get rid of Stitcher then. Okay, let me go ahead and do that right now.
Just a little hey ho.
Yep. And the rest.
iTunes. And the rest.
And the rest. It's like the first season of Gilligan's Island. And the rest.
And the rest are here on
All right. That's a show. If you'd like to play with us in the Ootini Knights Guild on the Republic side of the Satil Shan server, or in our
Ootini Rage.
Guild on the Empire side. Do/C join Utini to join the Utini channel. Then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to OotiniCast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using @OotiniCast or Mastodon @OotiniCast@mastodon.world. You can find contact details for us on our website, OotiniCast.com, which includes how to subscribe using iTunes and the rest. I gotta get rid of that comma. We record the show live bi-weekly on Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific by streaming twitch.tv/OotiniCast. Our theme song is Doomsday by Jean-Paul Zogby. And thank you to the chat room.
Thank you, chat, for being here.
And we'll see you next show. Okay, and Kitty, is there someone we should be rating?
Yeah. Oh, I wrote thank you wrong, but
it's all
I
good.
think you get the gist of it. Okay, let's see.
Where the
What
heck?
do we got? That's funny. New Overlords are on right now. That's
Okay.
Max and Zima. I think they're probably wrapping up. Smokey? Oh no.
I rated
I don't
Smokey
know.
earlier
Let
on my
me,
stream after you rated
let's-
me.
Let's go in and check and see if I see anybody I know. Oh, la 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 la.
Okay.
I don't see anybody that I know.
Okay.
What about no touchy TV?
Seems reasonable. We'll give them a try and see what they're all about. All right.
Cool.
Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start the raid. Thanks for coming, everyone. All right. And
Bye, everybody. We'll see you later. Mwah.
here we go. We'll have to all go say hi to whoever this ends up being. Twitch.tv. No touchy TV. No touchy TV. No touchy. It's like
No touchy TV.
let me go ahead and stop the stream. Stop the recording.